gotta be an idiot to bet on that parlay.
It's DTF or bust.
Put it on my mama's porch tomorrow. Welcome back to Hold My Bev podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Park. Here with me, as always, the one, the only DTF. Dylan, how's it going?
Hello there.
So we're gonna start trying to do 2 episodes a week. So
I'm
we're
doing well.
separating. Oh,
What?
wow, that's a little awkward. I was going
Are
into
you
how we're
good?
gonna do 2 episodes a week. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah.
Oh,
You were cutting
well,
out for a minute there.
oh, well, Mr. Fields, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here. It's Monday night. We've got an interesting game going on.
Yeah, right now my score is bugging out right now, but I think 13-10. Is that correct?
Yep. 13-10, fourth. No. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Hoping for a Max Crosby sack.
Yes, absolutely. I would like to see Devontae Adams get the ball a couple more times. I like that they keep running with Jacob stuff. But anyways, what I was saying before, we're gonna be trying to do 2 episodes a week, so we can recap. So like for example, we can recap week 5 this week, and then Wednesday we can give predictions on week 6 and talk about week 6 a little bit more. So we're not going from one week and talking to the next, all jumbled up in one episode. But yeah, we had a very interesting week of football this week. Starting off with Thursday night. I had a couple of bets that hit on Thursday, as it seems like they always, for the most part, have been hitting. Thursdays have been my lucky days. Um, Dylan, you want to kick off about Thursday night football?
Yeah. So we were both really wrong. We both thought that the Commanders were going to win. If you had DJ Moore on your fantasy team, congratulations. You pretty much automatically won the week. Other than that, Justin Fields showed up and looks like a MVP caliber quarterback, throwing the most touchdowns in the NFL. Yeah, Bears are back.
Yeah, I thought they looked pretty good. I mean, I thought the Commanders looked more bad than the Bears looked that good. But DJ Moore, I mean, he looked like a superstar. Um, It was a much needed win for the Bears. I know you were probably happy because now you're what, 2 games behind on the steak dinner?
I believe too. Them being 1-4, you guys are
Or no,
four
you're
and one,
3.
three
Yeah, no,
games.
you're 3 games behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all right. I'll end up winning in the end.
Oh, Bears comeback season? Justin Fields turns around to MVP
That'd be
type year, like
something.
everyone said. But yeah, Khalil Herbert, he had a good game until he got hurt. Thank God that he at least got 70 yards because my parlay would have gone down the drain if he didn't. Um, yeah. So I was glad that happened at least. Um, Other than that, like our commander's pick was way off, just in general. Um, are you worried about them at all? It looked Sam Howell still had a decent game. Slow start,
Uh,
but
just seemed like an off night. I don't know if I'd really say I'm worried about them because even teams like the Cowboys lost to the Cardinals. So I mean, I don't say I'm actually worried, but
yeah, I don't know that it's just that their secondary looked so bad.
mhm.
Like they just had no answer for him. And I don't know if it has anything to do with coaching. A lot of people are saying it seems like Ron Rivera's checked out. I don't know if I
Yeah,
agree with that, but I could see
a
him
lot
being
of people
close to
want him
done.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him being close to done though. He's been in the league for quite a while now, and other than really his 15 in 1 year where the he took the Panthers to the Super Bowl, I mean, it's been kind of mediocre.
Yeah, I
Um,
couldn't agree more.
yeah. But you know what? We got a whole slate of games that happened yesterday on Sunday. Starting off with the Jags and Bills, that was one interesting game. Are you still there,
That
Dylan?
game, that game screwed me up a lot because that was the beginning of my 9 leg parlay for money lines for the weekend, and it started off with the Bills losing, not good. But I had Etienne on my team, so it was nice to see a nice little 38 pointer from Etienne, and I have Ridley, but I also have Stephon Diggs and James Cook. So it was a battle of my team. Like my whole offense on one of my fantasy teams had all four of those players.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't have other than Calvin Ridley in one league. Um, I didn't have too much stake in it. I wish on my parlay though, I had Christian Kirk getting over 90 yards. I wish I would have switch swapped him and Calvin Ridley on that parlay because my parlay would have landed then, and I actually would have won more money if I would have flipped it. So that sucks. But life moves on. I really thought that a couple of my parlays were really going to hit, especially the Texans one, which we'll get into when we talk about that game. But the Jags go 2-0 in London. They come back home to the States with a winning record.
The London Jaguars.
Yeah, they could be. It could be the London Jaguars soon. I had to turn off the game because it was making the internet connection unstable for whatever reason.
That's what that was.
Yeah, gotta love Verizon internet.
Well,
Never
that's right.
ever
Since
again.
since you've turned it off, Devontae Adams has caught 3 catches.
Oh, I like that. I know you don't like
And
that, but I like that.
no, and they're on the goal line going in, but it'll probably be a Josh Jacobs touchdown here next.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. How many more yards do I need Jacobs to get? Come on, load up. I need Josh Jacobs to get. Oh, okay, okay. It's cooking up. It's cooking up. Christian Watson needs. Oh, wait. Oh, my parlay's gonna hit. I think my parlay might hit. I need two more catches from Devontae Adams, and I need 17 more yards from Josh Jacobs. And it hits.
It happened.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and talk more about that Jags and Bills game. Um, did you watch the entire game?
Yeah. I watched as much football as I could this weekend, starting with the Jags Bills, and I jumped right into red zone since there was no Browns. Whenever there's not a Browns game, I watch red zone all day.
Yeah, that's generally what I do. I'll watch either Red Zone or I'll watch it's kind of like Red Zone. It's called NFL Game Day. It'll just flip in between all the games
Hmm.
simultaneously. Um, but yeah, no, I thought it ended up being a very interesting game. It looked like it was going to be very boring when it was just 11-0, and then Bill scored right before
Yeah.
half. Um, Made things a little spicy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then that just back and forth at the end of the fourth quarter, like that alone would have made it worth going to that game.
Yeah, I mean, if the Bills drove down and ended up having a chance to win the game with like 15 seconds left, that would have been worth it alone. I mean, the closeness at the end was great, but if the Bills found a way to come back, that would have been unreal.
Yeah. Um, that onside kick, that was scary, man. That was a good
Oh,
kick.
it's so close.
Yeah,
So
that was a
close.
great kick. Great play by Evan Ingram, though, that knocked the ball out of bounds.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that ball took the perfect bounce and everything, and he made the right play on knocking it out of bounds. I actually thought that he was going to get a penalty for that. They were talking about
Hmm.
that on the broadcast, whether he was going to get penalized for that or not. And honestly, I don't see how you would get penalized for that.
No, you're knocking it out of bounds.
Yeah, what's the difference between that and an offensive player knocking a ball down so it doesn't get intercepted?
I don't know. Josh Jacobs touchdown,
Let's go. All
called
right.
it,
How many yards is he at now?
which means fourth quarter, Packers are down. They're going to throw the ball a little more. Jordan Love might get sacked this next drive.
Oh, was it only a 2 yard run? Yeah.
Yeah. He has 75 yards, though. Oh, no, that was a scoring drive. Sorry. 10 plays, 75 yard scoring drive.
Yeah. I need the Packers to I don't know if I want them to run the ball. Oh, wait, no, I'm pretty sure I have him at 60 yards, not 70. Let me double check that. Yeah, I have him at
Well, the
60
first,
yards. I need him to get 5 more yards.
there you go.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought he had 70. But let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the slate on Sunday. Next we had an absolute blowout, the Saints versus the Patriots. Patriots are pretty much dead. They're they're on the Bears level. Are you still there, Dylan?
Yeah, which game you keep cutting out?
Oh no. The Saints versus the Patriots. I was saying how it was an absolute blowout of a game.
Oh yeah, that was a whomping. The fact that the Saints put up 34 points was incredible. Thanks for the Patriots to show up. Mac Jones is on his way out. I think that you're going to see the Patriots trade for Kyler Murray. Might be something we see in the future here.
Yeah, and I think Belichick's going to be done too.
I could see
I
him riding off in the sunset.
I think they made some great points on the sports shows this morning, especially Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp about how he needs to step down as a GM because his way of football just isn't going to work anymore, especially not with Tom Brady not being his quarterback. Um, Mac Jones isn't going to rally the troops. I mean, did you hear about his comments? His supposed comments, at least, about his weapons this year.
Um, what about him?
Let me pull up the exact quote, but he basically was talking. I just don't want to get this wrong, but he was basically calling them hot garbage.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I missed that.
I know, I know, I can find it.
I was reading something that said like Mac Jones has thrown more pick sixes in like the last year or two or something than Tom Brady threw in his career, and I just that blew my mind away.
Yeah, that is crazy. I didn't think about that. Mac Jones allegedly, according to a close source to Jones, has been calling his supporting cast flaming hot garbage and to not blame him that he can't play with scrubs.
Tom Brady didn't have anybody.
I know that's exactly what I said, but
He had Randy Moss and Gronkowski, but if you're gonna call Julian Edelman and Wes Welker like top tier talent, I don't know what you're thinking because that's not anywhere near like a Justin Jefferson or a Tyreek Hill
yeah,
at all.
yeah, no. Here was the exact quote that was reported. No matter how good of a cook you are, you cannot make garbage taste good.
Gross.
Yeah, that's not what you want to hear from a leader, not even rumored. I mean, that just sounds like too much of a like, oh yeah, I said that quote, then just, fake news.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, Patriots, new home of Kyler Murray. Congratulations, New England. You got Kyler Murray. What did it cost you? Everything.
Everything. Your legacy.
Yes. Yes. Thanos. Mini Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the Titans versus the Colts. Once again, another game Anthony Richardson cannot finish.
Third
Um,
out, third out of fifth game.
yeah, that's nuts. If you're a Colts fan, are you concerned at all right now? I heard some people debating this and saw some pretty hot takes on it.
Um, I mean, it's definitely concerning the fact that over half of your games, your quarterback that's supposed to be your star is injured, but he's a rookie. I mean, he's jumping into a brand new league with a bunch of bigger guys than or college. I just don't think that we should be looking at Anthony Richardson as like a veteran by any means. He's got a lot to learn, a lot of muscle to build. He's got a lot to become in his own shoes. And I just think that the injuries are small, but they're going to continue to happen until he's comfortable in that role. Being a rookie quarterback, I mean, he got thrown to the wolves. It's going to happen. So I don't know if I'd really say if I'm worried about the Colts. Um, I don't know. I just think that Anthony Richardson was thrown into a position where they had no quarterback there, and it was either him or Gardner Minshew, which Gardner Minshew is playing real well when he's subbing in. But I mean, if I'm the coach, I'm playing Anthony Richardson because he's got way more talent. But
Well, and
you got
that's
to
your
look out for
future
your
too. That's your
you got
future
to look out
too.
for the player's safety though. The safety is more important than the future because they're not going to
Yeah.
have a future if they aren't. It's like Tua. If Tua had one more concussion, is he really worth putting out there? It's just like you got to worry about the player's safety at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I guess that's where a lot of the concern comes from is that is he going to be able to stay out on the field? Because you know what they say, the best ability is availability. And it's not that it's Richardson's fault, but they just have to figure out something to, keep him healthy throughout the whole
Yeah.
season. He was having shoulder issues, then concussion issues. Um, so a lot of banging up for the first 5 weeks of your NFL career. Um, Looks great though whenever he's in. He looks really good. Uh,
Yeah.
I think he's a future star in the league. And I think they have a lot to be excited about. So a lot of the over dramatized things that I'm seeing on Twitter about him being, kind of considered a bust already because of his injuries, I think just a complete
He's
overreaction.
not a bust by any means.
No, if you want to see a bust, look at Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. Sorry, Blake.
Oh, they got a lot to figure out over there in Denver.
Oh yeah.
It's a new system though. It's a new system. They'll figure it out.
Yeah,
If it's not
but
next year, because they're not going to fire anybody, and I don't see Russell Wilson getting traded. They can't. So you might as well tank at this point. Go for somebody, early round quarterback, maybe get somebody behind Russell Wilson, and just hope that Sean Payton can pull him out of this darkness. But they're done. They're toast.
yeah, they just have too much invested right now to
Yeah,
be doing that.
yeah.
But go back to the Colts real quick. Colts did beat the Titans off to a 3-2 start, which I don't think many people saw happening. Um,
No,
I
they haven't.
as of right now, I would put Shane Steichen as a coach of the year candidate behind Dan Campbell.
The Colts have not beat the Titans in like I think 10 matches. Um, well, I don't know if it was 10, but I know that it's been like 1,000 days or something crazy. But to note, the Colts are 10-0 with the roof open,
Ooh, I did not know that.
and they had the roof open. I hope they have the roof closed when I go in 2 weeks for the Browns Colts game because I don't
That'll be
want to freeze.
cold. Yeah, that'll be cold.
Middle of October.
Let's go ahead and move into AFC North matchup, which was an absolute shit show. Ravens versus Steelers.
It
Uh,
was a Ravens Steelers game.
yeah, I felt bad for Lamar because I felt like he actually played really good and the stats don't show it. Um, his receivers just miserably failed him.
Yeah, I mean
Miserably failed him.
they dropped like 4 passes for 170 yards potential.
In a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Andrews dropped probably like the most gimme touchdown that you could have.
Yeah.
So whoever thought that their receiving problems were fixed with quote unquote Odell Beckham and
Oh no, we have a sack. We have a sack. We have a sack.
is it
It's
Crosby?
Mason. It's Max fucking Crosby. Let's fucking go.
I was gonna say, man, I was gonna say Mason Crosby came out of retirement for the Packers and got a sack.
Oh, I needed that. No
Good shit.
flags. No flags. Let's move on. Are we good? Okay, so I need to pause for everybody who listens to our show. I'm on this kick right now where I'm doing these bets right now that are 0.25 sack, over under 0.25, a quarter of a sack. And the odds are just crazy. I mean, if you even get, oh my God, I think they picked it off. They got sacked and then they threw another pick to the same linebacker who got the one earlier.
Oh my God.
Jesus, this game's over.
That pick earlier, like I don't know what he was seeing. I don't know if he pulled a Sam Darnold and was seeing ghosts or
You've seen ghosts. But yeah, let me just finish this really quick. So most of the bets on DraftKings right now have like 50% boost if you just watch for them. And there's a 50% Monday Night Football boost. And this quarter of a sack for Max Crosby was boosted to like plus 130. Easy money. Easy money. And it just hit. So we're on the victory train again.
good
Drive to
job, Dill.
5,000 is still going 4 bets strong. Anywho.
Uh, but yeah,
But yeah, bad interception.
yeah. Uh, let's go back
So
to
yeah, the Steelers stunk it out.
yeah, stunk it out and somehow managed to
Steelers
get
stunk it out in the
another
first
win.
half. Yeah, it looks like Matt Canada didn't want them to win. There was a clip of him in the booth, and he just was not celebrating Kenny Pickett's audible at the end of the game to Pickens for the final touchdown. Um, I seriously thought that they were going to lose that game, especially when um it was late in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden there's a punt block in the end zone for a safety, and it just boosted the fuck out of the Steelers, and they were just like it was like the momentum just flipped a switch immediately. So I mean, in one way, as a Browns fan, you kind of wanted the Steelers to win that game so that the Ravens don't just pull away. But in a sense, too, I don't know. I just hate seeing the Steelers win because I just am so tired of Mike Tomlin having a positive. You know, he's never had a negative record, losing
Yeah,
record.
yeah, that is true. It sucks that it was in division two, but
Yeah,
at the same time, it helps us out, like you said, still keeps the top seed within range. I just don't like that the Steelers are now we're having to fight two teams rather than just one.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, Steelers defense, still look good as always. Basically is the only good part of that team. If they even had a decent offense, just a decent offense, they would be one of the better teams in the AFC for sure. Like
Yep.
they would win our division. It wouldn't. I don't even think it'd be close. Um,
Mm-mm.
Najee Harris shouldn't even be starting anymore. It should just be
I don't know.
Warren getting the
I don't know
RB1
why
push.
Warren's not starting. Warren was getting multiple, like 20-yard receptions at a time, and Najee Harris was maybe getting 5 yards a carry. Not, I mean, not average, but I mean, like he was only getting 5 yards at a time, and it just felt like, what are we doing here?
Right.
I don't
Right.
know. They
Yeah.
like that
No.
Alabama. They like that Alabama name.
Well, that and they spent a first round pick on it. They got to get their money's worth out of it, I guess. Um, but I mean, dude, if you're a Steelers fan, like you got to be yelling for Warren. Like Najee Harris, I kid you not, he has the Eddie Lacy career path right now. Great
Hmm.
rookie year, gets a little bit fatter and slower. I don't know. It's not looking too great for him. I don't see his odds getting re-signed by another team very
Nah,
much. I
he'll
don't
be
like
out
his
of the league.
odds.
He'll
Yeah,
be
which is
out
a
of the league
shame.
unless somebody's desperate.
Yeah, I mean I could see someone picking him up as a, RB2, a 1-2 punch being the
Yeah, I mean,
two.
for as much as I loved him growing up, I really thought Zeke was done because Zeke kind of got a little bit fatter, a little bit slower, started getting less carries. And then Patriots, they needed a running back. But guess what? Stevenson's getting less carries and Zeke's getting more carries now all of a sudden. So there's like a resurgence in Zeke's game, but he's not putting up any numbers by any means where he's like a waiver wire watch. I mean, he's still sitting in most free agencies in fantasy football.
Hmm.
I mean, but yeah, Najee Harris, I don't see him being in the league much longer. I can't believe he's a first round or a second round fantasy pick by any means. I mean, people were they were just dumb. Start drawing on the clown makeup if you picked him in the first or second round.
Especially if you picked him in the first round for whatever reason. You're crazy.
Anybody
Let's
that was
go.
going into this football season knew that Warren was going to get a lot of looks this year, not to draft Najee Harris.
Yeah, that I feel like that was on every source imaginable. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and move into this Panthers Lions game. Lions just showed complete dominance throughout this whole game.
No mercy from Dan Campbell.
Yeah, no, he showed absolute dominance.
It was a
Um,
shit kicking.
yeah,
Absolutely love that game. That was a beautiful game. I had Sam Laporta on my roster playing next to Travis Kelsey in my flex. 2 TDs for Laporta. Montgomery had a day. Oh, Jared Goff had a day. So I have a lot of Lions on my fantasy teams, and I called a buddy. He needed help. I said, "Let's look at your waiver wire. Who's available?" Somehow Montgomery was available. Somehow Laporta was
the
available. Somehow the Lions defense was available, or he had the Lions defense, and then he had Goff on his bench. I'm like, please, for whatever you do, start Goff, start Laporta, start Montgomery, and start the defense. He ended up being projected to lose, and he ended up winning this weekend on a couple other things. I mean, he had George Kittle, who just so happened to get 3 touchdowns for the Niners, but
yeah,
the Lions alone helped him. It's like the Dolphins a couple weeks ago. If you had Tua and Tyreek and Achan Mostert,
yeah, you were gonna win. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, Montgomery's playing amazing this year.
Yeah,
It's, what we thought we were gonna see in Chicago, and Chicago just never gave him the support. Now that he has that Lions O line, and shit, I would love to see. And not that I want to see Nick Chubb in Detroit, but I would love to see Nick Chubb with that offensive line.
unreal.
Penei Sewell on the tackle. Oh, I would give up anything to get Penei Sewell over Mr. Wills.
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
done with Wills.
Yeah, I'm ready to move off of him. I don't know if I want to trade for. There's been rumors that we're going to be going after Garrett Bowles from Denver. I'm like, well, I don't
Hmm.
really see the point of it unless we're getting him for a sack of potatoes.
Yeah,
And we plan on trading Wills. I know the Packers are supposedly interested in Wills because Bakhtiari is going to be out for the year. I'd
yeah,
be like, yeah, go take him, please, please.
mm-hmm.
I'll help him
Absolutely.
move out of his place. I'll go afterward. But yeah, great game for the Lions, 4-1, Man, I'm ready for that steak. Mm-mm-mm. I'm
Golden
gonna bring
Corral.
my. I'm gonna. Oh, can we go to the one in Parma?
Yeah. If you want to get shot
Hey, Parma ain't that bad.
or food poisoning.
Yeah, I'd be more worried about that. Next we had the Texans versus the Falcons. This was actually, believe it or not, the game I was looking forward to the most. Um, I really thought CJ Stroud was gonna have a huge game. Uh, Actually, everything would have hit on my parlay. He was one touchdown short, and Tank Dell got hurt right before he could make his fourth catch.
Uh, I had the Texans money line. I was high on them for the upset as the underdog. It was close. It was a close game, but Desmond Ritter continues to be undefeated at home in all high school, college, and pro level.
Yeah. So I did have Texans money line as a separate bet, and I'm not gonna lie. When the Texans got the lead, I saw the buyout was more than what I paid in, and I'm like, I don't trust it. I cashed out. I
Good.
cashed out.
I made a big mistake on Saturday, but we can get to that after we finish the games.
Oh, I think I know what one you're talking about. Let's go ahead and talk into this next matchup. The loser Giants versus the Dolphins.
Loser. Loser.
Giants barely got their first touchdown in a first half for the season, which that's
Loser.
that's honestly like
It
that's
was the pick six, though,
embarrassing.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a pick six. That really shouldn't have been a pick six.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it was the pick six. I mean, still wasn't their offense.
And yeah, it still wasn't their offense. And the fact that that was the first touchdown they had scored in a first half this season is embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Like they played so good last year. I don't get what happened.
I guess Saquon's a bigger deal than we thought.
Saquon, I mean, maybe it was the Kenny Galladay curse. And maybe they needed to just overpay a wide receiver so bad to do nothing.
Yep.
Maybe that's why. He's not on the roster anymore.
It's
They
fair.
did, but now they just overpay their quarterback terribly.
Oh, he's so terrible.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of him, never will be. It's just
You know, you know
I
what's
don't
funny is
hate
I
him.
was
I
listening.
don't hate him. I just don't I hate the fact they called him Danny Dimes. And I'm like, what are you watching?
I was listening to Tyreek Hill's podcast today, and he was saying how he loves Zach Wilson and he loves Daniel Jones. I can't tell if he's doing this out of it as a joke, or if he actually respects them as quarterbacks. I'd love to say, all right, Tyreek, let's put you on either New York team and see how you feel about that.
Oh, yeah, at
I
least get
wonder
some
what
points on the board.
he would, but I mean,
Okay, let
I
me
don't think
ask
they'd
you.
be as winning of a program as the Dolphins.
No, no, not at all. Would you rather Okay, if you were a wide receiver in the NFL, would you rather have Zach Wilson or Daniel Jones as your quarterback?
Truthfully, I think Daniel Jones. I think he's got a little more control under his game. I just think he gets that deer in headlights look, and he's like, oh, oh, oh. Zach Wilson just sometimes I just don't understand what's going through his mind. It's like a pinball machine in his head.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably go Daniel Jones as well. He's got the playoff win underneath his belt too, which he played good in that game against Minnesota last year. Um, I would much rather have Daniel Jones. But I mean, Zach Wilson hasn't been playing too awful the last couple weeks. Nothing spectacular, nothing that I would want as my franchise quarterback, but I think he's been
Hasn't
playing
been
good
playing
enough.
awful.
I think he's been
Yep.
playing good enough that he'll be as long as he keeps it up, he'll be a backup quarterback for a decent amount of time, a couple more years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at least a pro. Um, Not for him being the second overall pick. That sucks, but I think he could be a backup quarterback if he has his mindset straight. And I don't think he ever should have been the second overall pick to begin with, but never did.
No, no.
No, that his pro day throw was beyond overrated. I hate it. I remember when that went viral, I could not stand it. I'm like, okay, yeah, he threw it that far. You know who else could throw really far? Joe Flacco. You know who else could throw it very far? A lot of NFL quarterbacks. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's impressive throwing off your back leg. But guess what? There's no coverage on that. He doesn't have to throw that into any tight window whatsoever. There's a ton of quarterbacks that can make that throw in the NFL. Am I saying that he doesn't
Oh yeah,
belong in the NFL? No, not at
yeah,
all. I think he's obviously good enough to be in the NFL. He's just not good enough to be a starter.
right. You got your yards from Josh Jacobs. What else were you waiting on?
I need how many catches does Devontae Adams have? No. I need him to get two more catches. Shit.
What's his yardage at?
45.
So it's what? 4 and 45?
Yeah, I just need him to get two catches.
Yeah, buddy. I don't know. It's 3 minutes left in the
Eh,
game.
Yeah, I'm
And
not liking
then
my odds.
Jacobs just got a first down. Looks like they're just gonna run the ball out.
Oh, who knows? It's Josh McDaniels.
I might be
Maybe
Blake. I might be Blake though. Let me grab my phone.
I gotta say, this man's taking an ass beating this week. He loses to the Jets and then he loses to you in fantasy.
Oh, he also lost to another buddy by I think he said point 0.4.
Wow. I lost in my ESPN league
He said
by point 0.8 last night. CeeDee Lamb got a catch in
oh,
garbage time.
holy shit. So Adams was projected 17 points. I was only up by 15. So obviously if he hit 17, he won by 2 points. Well, he has 8 points right now, and he's currently down by 4. Blake, I'm sorry. I told you Adams wasn't going to have a good night. I told you. Watch Fields cook. That's the team name right here, baby. Watch Fields cook. Going back in the win column.
Aye, aye, aye. I pray that somehow he manages to get two catches.
He'll
I
get like a 60-yard pass right now. And then he'll get all the points and all that stuff I just said has to be wiped from this.
literally just two little screen passes. That's all I want. He just needs to catch it. Other than that, I don't care what he does. But let's go ahead and talk about the Bengals versus the Cardinals. Jamar Chase finally got his first touchdown, make that three of them actually. Um, he had a hat trick on the
3.
day. He did. He had a hat trick this week. Um, I'm telling you, man, the Cardinals are gonna beat someone good sometime this year, and I'm not liking when they come to Cleveland, especially Josh Dobbs' revenge game. Was literally at our training camp this year. Knows the playbook. Like I don't know. I'm very nervous
Mm-hmm.
about that game. I could see us laying a fat egg that game.
You think?
I Man, I'm not liking our schedule coming up.
Yeah, but if you look at 7 of the 10, how many games do we have left? No. I saw that what was it? I
We have 13
believe it was
games left.
7 of the rest. So maybe 7 of the 13 games left. Oh, but you know what? I believe they only said 10 because we still have to play our division again. Either way, They said that most of the teams that we have to play for the remainder of the season have a 500 or worse record. And I think the only good teams left that we have to play are the 49ers and the Seahawks, maybe. I mean, I don't really know who else we have to play that's good.
Seahawks or
Oh, and
Rams?
the Rams.
Rams are pretty good.
Yeah, it's the whole NFC West.
Yeah. Yeah. Not too much else to talk about the Bengals. I
They
they
won.
gotta win. Yeah, they won. What they do? They won. Um, Eagles versus Rams. This game actually was pretty interesting considering it was kind of lopsided. The Rams got pretty much anything they wanted. They just couldn't put the points up on the board. Cooper Cup return game. Puka got his second touchdown.
Yeah.
Um, I, man, I'm telling you, I like the Rams. I wish they didn't deplete their whole roster, but they're not looking too bad. McVay's got a good team there over there. Uh, Eagles undefeated still. Um, do you like the Eagles over the 49ers?
Dude, I don't I what did I tell you going into this week? They're bound to lose, and I thought that the Rams were going to be the team to do it. They go into the 49ers in December, they're fucked. The Eagles are going to lose.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game still, but I I don't think it's going to be the same as last year. I think this year has kind of proven how important Steichen was to Jalen Hurts. Not that he's been playing bad by any means,
Yeah.
um, but Steichen was very important for Jalen Hurts because he's not playing as good as last year, but he's playing still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Um, then we had the Nathaniel Hackett revenge game, Jets versus Broncos.
See, this pisses me off.
Blake's game of the year. No, that was the
This
Dolphins
pisses me
game.
off. No, this pisses me off because they say Nathaniel Hackett revenge game, but the offense didn't do shit
Yeah, that
at
is
all.
true. That is true. But in all honesty, that whole game looked like a shit show.
Yeah.
It didn't look very good other than the Brees Hall 70-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, not a very interesting game. I didn't really care to watch it. Um, I just
No.
saw little bits and pieces of it. Chiefs and Vikings, I'm not gonna lie, that game was pretty boring too. For it being decent like scoring.
Yeah, you see
And
Travis go down on a non-contact injury, comes back, gets a touchdown, calls
he
it a day.
probably it's probably because he made a phone call.
Did he?
He might have.
Oh, we got a doink.
A doink.
The Raiders just doinked a field goal. And now the Packers
Um,
have the ball to go back with 2 minutes left.
oh my God.
And
Man.
Blake just said, "You better hope that the Packers don't score fast." Because then he's launching the thing down to Devontae. You know it. You know he
Oh yeah,
will.
he has to. He has to. Going back to back
Oh
to
shit.
Devontae.
Oh shit.
But
Hey, well
yeah,
maybe we'll
Chiefs.
get.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead. I'm just sorry. I'm getting too focused on this fucking Monday Night Football game.
We have Chiefs at Vikings. Like I said, it was pretty boring. Like you said, Kelsey got hurt, came back though, scored a touchdown, but now Justin Jefferson's gonna be hurt. Doesn't sound like he's gonna be playing week 6 at least. They're just gonna wait until he's 100%, which shit, you're 1-4. Your schedule's not gonna get any easier. You're
Okay.
just gonna take the rest of the year, see what you got, and honestly, maybe even rebuild. Kirk, I don't know if they're gonna
Send
bring him
send
back.
Kirk Cousins to New England.
It could be. He could sign with New England. Who knows?
Send everybody to New England.
Yeah, everyone to New England, congratulations. You just got mediocre 2.0. Even though the Kirk's above mediocre, he just can't take the prime time.
Yeah, Kirk's good though.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's not necessarily a quarterback you can complain about, but he's not good enough to take you over the top.
Right.
I don't know if I'm the Vikings. If I'm even halfway considering rebuilding, I'm considering trading Justin Jefferson. What's the point of keeping him when you
Yeah, I
could
mean,
just
free
get,
him.
yeah, you could get all the draft capital you want in the world and some good players in return.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I would send it. Um, then we had the shit show on Sunday Night Football, which was supposed to be a good game. Cowboys versus 49ers. 49ers absolutely demolished them, which that made me so happy.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys. Look at their wins. They beat the Jets, the Giants, and the Cardinals. Woo! Who'd they fucking beat? And no, they lost
Exactly.
to the Cardinals. No, they
Yeah.
lost to the Cardinals. So they
They
beat the
beat the
Jets, the
Giants
Giants, and who
and
was the
the Patriots last
yeah, the
week.
Patriots. Come on. And they lost to a bad Cardinals team. So I knew they weren't legit. I like the Commanders more than the Dallas Cowboys in this scenario. Um, but yeah, I mean the 49ers just shit kicked them in the face. Greg Kittle legacy game.
Yeah.
McCaffrey going. You know McCaffrey's going for the record this next game against the Browns.
Which record?
I
For
don't
most
know. I
touchdowns
think like
consecutively?
in a row, yeah. So hammer the McCaffrey touchdown anytime. He's going for the record.
Oh yeah.
Dare I say,
I just know that he's gonna get it a touchdown every game now.
yeah. Dare I say, go for two touchdowns?
I did that last night actually.
Did you?
I was so upset when he fell a yard short of getting that second touchdown. I was so
Yeah.
upset. And then they threw it to use check.
Huge check. Shout out Cloverleaf.
Yeah. Um yeah, I was also a couple yards short again of my CMC bet for the parlay.
Yep.
Literally every parlay flopped yesterday.
Well, that's why I don't
Just by
like
a smidge.
I don't like to bet on McCaffrey rushing yards because it's so hit or miss what they're going to do with him. The touchdown seems like a lot, but you can't bet on the rushing yards.
Yeah, that's true. But that's same with any of their receivers because it seems like they just absolutely favor one of them each week.
Yeah, it's like he picks and chooses whose turn it is.
Yeah, like Kittle, 3 touchdowns. He had the fuck Dallas Cowboys shirt on underneath, which was playful. Apparently Micah Parsons had some comments on that on his podcast today, but I don't know what all Micah Parsons can really be saying on his podcast.
What's that?
He was trying to say that the 49ers didn't beat them that bad last night.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, well, he's like, yeah, the scoreboard doesn't speak for the game. I'm like, well, your quarterback threw 3 picks.
he got benched.
Yeah, he got benched for Cooper Rush. They didn't even put in Trey Lance, which probably good for him. That was probably the worst game they could have brought him back in.
Yeah.
That would have been like if Baker Mayfield's first game for the Panthers was in Cleveland.
Oh,
It was just against Cleveland in Carolina.
yeah.
Um, I think the 49ers are the best team in football, though. I don't even think it's close. I think if they were to pair
Thousand
up against the
percent.
Chiefs right now, I think it would be a landslide.
Yeah, I mean, if the Super Bowl is today, the 49ers are going to be winners. Like, absolutely no doubt about it.
Yeah, I don't see anyone that's going to give them any kind of competition. The only game that was even remotely close was the Rams, and that was a division game. Like those games are always going to be close
Yep.
unless you have DTR starting against the Ravens. But which one more thing that I would like to mention about that Ravens game, Roquan Smith is still not a Raven.
Hasn't beat the Steelers.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing until I heard that, but
I didn't know that was a thing either.
yeah. What do we got on this Monday Night Football? We basically just recapped everything over the weekend.
Yeah,
Packers.
51 seconds left. Packers have 3rd and 10. They have a chance to try to win this game as time expires.
I'm not turning on my phone right here, but I have my phone off the Wi-Fi. So, oh, talk about your bet from the weekend.
Yeah, so I had taken some of my winnings from the Drive to Five unofficial bet the week before, and I put it on Texas to beat Oklahoma. And early in the fourth quarter, is that another pick? No.
Oh, wait, no?
So early in the fourth quarter, I saw that my cash out was a little bit less than what I originally paid in, but I was still going to ride it out. Well, then I panicked and I pulled out for considerably less just to say that I made some money back. Then I flipped it on Oklahoma, but then it was they were favored to win, so I had to pick somebody else. So I made a parlay with Mizzou because Mizzou was up at the time in the fourth quarter. Well, Mizzou ended up losing to LSU, so my bet fumbled. So just a bad day on Saturday, but we came back yesterday, won the bet Sunday, and we won our bet tonight. So we are on top.
Solid week. I'm glad that you had a lot better week than I did, other than Thursday night. I'm just gonna stick with my Thursday nights for right now. Um,
Hey, yeah.
yeah, right now it'd be 4 for 5. I've only missed on one Thursday night so far, and I missed by 5 yards.
Yep.
But other than that, Raiders are gonna go ahead and kneel it, and they're gonna
Yep.
win over
It's
the
over.
Packers at home. Other than that, NBA starting up soon. We're gonna be back Wednesday, um, which will release Thursday morning. So stay tuned for that. Um, Dylan, got anything else to say?
Yes, please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have an issue. Love you guys.
Peace.